The dead internet theory, an idea that was first introduced on a rather obscure forum. The way it goes is that the internet as we know it is controlled by few mega corporations, employing countless bots, advanced algorithms, and artificial intelligence to create shallow repetitive content that serves as a distraction and as money-making capitalist tool. Despite its seemingly dubious origins, this theory has quickly gained popularity among internet users, resonating with their feelings towards the present state of online content. We have all experienced it. The endless scroll through mind-numbing posts, devoid of creativity, designed solely to drain our energy and trap us in an endless cycle of consumerism. What if I told you that there is more to this theory than meets the eye? Because the rabbit hole goes much deeper than you could possibly imagine. Once you uncover the hidden truths, your perspective on the internet will be forever altered, as its impact reaches far beyond our phone screens, infiltrating every aspect of our lives and going as far as possibly destroying the world as we know it. Years ago, the wealthiest people were the ones who held knowledge and had a right to their own distinct identity, while the working class people were pawns in their hands. They went to fight wars that never benefited them, nor did they usually even know what they were fighting for to begin with. Traumatized by the horrors they witnessed, young men returned home only to see their future sons follow the same path to war. Because people didn't know any better. The knowledge was exclusive for the rich. It was a flawed system. With limited opportunities, individuals were forced to tread a narrow path that rarely deviated from the status quo. And then came the internet. We started off as this virtual world akin to the Wild West, where individuals of diverse backgrounds engaged in the exchange of ideas and indulged in content that was devoid of the pervasive biases imposed by government-controlled media of that era. This digital world was created by the people, for the people. True human creativity was blooming, and people from various backgrounds gathered on forums, like 4chan for example, discussing their hobbies with people all around the world. Every corner of the internet was uniquely distinct and unregulated. Browsing through web was like an adventure, constantly encountering passionate and authentic websites. However, there's some worrying phenomenon going on in the recent times. This is a $1 million homepage. A website with million pixels where people were buying space for their website link and logo to be shown. Spanning the period from 2005 until 2006, all of the available pixels have been sold, with the last piece of space being auctioned for $38,000. Why am I bringing this to your attention? Because out of all 1 million pixels, about 480,000 either no longer work, redirecting you to 404 not found page, or have been set for sale, demonstrating the phenomenon of link rot, where a vast amount of old websites no longer exist. They are gone forever. Such phenomenon isn't something new, of course, as it echoes the annihilation of countless ancient books and music from bygone eras. Even online video games that were once full of life succumbed to their inactive servers, fading into obscurity. It might seem like a natural cyclic pattern, wherein the old things decay and make space for the new, with the hope of progress and improvement. But here's the whole problem here. The old creative culture of the 90s and 2000s isn't being replaced by anything of equal value, but rather by content that's controlled by mega corporations, devised specifically to keep you addicted so you could spend as much time as possible scrolling. Their motive? To gather extensive amount of data about you, enabling to bombard you with personalized ads and content, ultimately maximizing their profit. To give you an example, from a harmless social media app to a soulless capitalist tool, look no further than the very app most of you have on your phones, Instagram. Back when I first downloaded Instagram, it was a modest app that revolved around sharing pictures. That simplicity defined its essence. There were no reels, no stories. The logo and the colors of the app were simple. It didn't even have any algorithm dictating the content. It was all regulated by a passionate team of people. It all changed, however, when Zuckerberg, with his Facebook team, recognized the immense potential to expand his empire by buying Instagram. And as it took place, we saw drastic changes occurring over the course of 2016 and 2017. With an employment of various techniques and psychological methods, the app was deliberately made more addictive, compelling its users to spend more time on it. That's also when ads became more common, constantly trying to sell you stuff that you don't really need, but are rather brainwashed into buying. In that process, the vibrant and creative culture of 1990s was replaced by the Instagram culture, one that's shaped by fakeness, conformity, and pursuit of validation. And its effects on us are far from beneficial or positive. Because you see, studies have shown that Instagram is the most detrimental app when it comes to people's mental health, in particular, the younger generation. The algorithmic exposure of posts depicting seemingly perfect people, flawless moments, and idealized bodies has created unrealistic standards and fueled many young people to pursue something that's not even real. People don't just stop at photoshopping their pictures, they even buy their followers. With the most popular celebrities following bases consisting of big number of bots. For example, out of The Rock's 326 million followers, a staggering number of 80.9 million are bots. But it's not just photoshopped pictures or fake followers that plague the platform. Entire fake profiles of people who don't even exist. Like the Instagram model Lil Miquela, who has created a substantial following around herself only to turn out to be an AI. Despite that revelation, however, it did not affect her popularity. As a matter of fact, she managed to gather additional 2 million followers after the truth behind her existence, or rather, non-existence, came to light. And in 2020, she has signed a deal with CAA, which earned over $10 million in revenue. I want you to stop and think for a moment. Someone who doesn't exist has earned more money and became more successful than any of us. Let that sink in. This artificial and manufactured culture has been constructed with the intention of filling our minds with feelings of dissatisfaction, leading us to constantly chase after materialistic goods in an attempt to fill this perpetual void inside of our souls, which has led to a society full of individuals constantly distracted, lacking mindfulness and thoughtfulness, simply consuming whatever is popular or trending on a homepage. The algorithms employed by social media platforms such as Instagram or TikTok play a significant role in shaping the content we are exposed to, including political and worldly events. However, their objective is not to provide balanced perspectives. Rather, they prioritize igniting extreme negative emotions. This deliberate tactic traps users in never-ending and often pointless discussions within the comment sections, isolating them from genuine human connection. Instead of perceiving others as individuals with unique experiences and viewpoints, they become reduced to mere embodiments of ideologies, transformed into enemies to be fought against. This dehumanization prevents any possibility of reaching compromise or deriving benefits from such discourse. Such manipulative tactics were once used by cruel totalitarian regimes like Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union, and now they have come back in a new, more menacing form, fueled by modern technology controlled by the corporations, creating a perfect environment for powerful mind manipulation. Aldous Huxley warned us of this in his book Brave New World Revisited, published back in the late 1950s, in which he has predicted that as technology advances, democracy and individual freedom would gradually vanish, as the most advanced of devices would only be owned by the top elite. Such centralization of power would ultimately give select group of people control over the majority. And we see that happening now, 70 years later, with the internet. Initially, internet was a pure anarchy, with limited government oversight and no algorithms controlling what content users could see. However, as far as the elite was concerned, it became too free. Too many ideas were flowing without any supervision. Consequently, they sought to regain their lost influence and authority over people's thoughts and ideas. Therefore, nowadays, the moment we open TikTok or Instagram, we are immediately flooded by an array of content that's meant to keep our thoughts in line with the system's agenda. Ideas that run counter to this agenda are shadow banned, deleted, or reported for violence and dangerous organizations. But that's just the peak of the iceberg, because modern day technology is advancing fast. And with it, the further means of controlling public opinion. The advanced AIs that are able to have conversations like real people are one such thing. Previously, if you wanted to gain support for your political agenda, you needed to rally actual people out on the streets and to give compelling, powerful speeches. It required hard work, dedication, and oftentimes genuine belief in your cause. However, with money and power, corporations can now employ thousands, if not millions of bots with comments and posts supporting their cause. And studies have shown that bots account for a significant portion of internet traffic. If a large number of profiles in the comments express support for a particular viewpoint, it may cause real individuals into believing it must be true. After all, it is natural for us humans to follow the majority. If everyone says something is a certain way, what makes me think that out of all these people, it's me who's right? And all of this is just keep getting creepier the further we go, as nothing is as menacing as the deepfakes. The use of artificial intelligence to create highly realistic fake videos. While at the moment they are mostly used for comedy and entertainment, like videos of Joe Rogan having conversations that he never actually had.
All right, let's do this. How you doing, Mr. President?
Joe, it's great to be here. I'm doing fantastic, just fantastic. The energy in this room is tremendous.
That's great to hear.
Their potential implications are concerning. Take this for example, a video of Ukrainian President Zelensky where he orders his people to put down their arms and submit to the Russian invaders. The video turned out to be a deepfake, but not before it was being shared on Twitter, being broadcasted by Ukrainian news channels. This event demonstrates the capacity of deepfakes to manipulate political situations and influence public opinion. You no longer will need to take certain things Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, or Andrew Tate said out of context in order to get them cancelled. You'll be able to artificially create a video of them saying whatever offensive, indiscriminating thing you want them to say. With the demise of the golden age of internet, we have witnessed the rise of a corrupted system, a poison to freedom of speech and expression. The liberal democracy as we know it is gone. It no longer exists. So let it be said loud and clear, internet is dead. And it will remain dead. What was once an island of creativity and freedom has been turned into a soulless capitalist tool designed to keep you distracted from your real enemies. Therefore, if you're gonna take anything from this video, let it be this. We need to turn off our phones, every now and then. We should take a moment to look around and truly see the people and the world for what they are. We may hold different views, opinions and beliefs, but everyone has reasons behind their perspectives. Understanding this can foster empathy and open possibilities for respectful dialogue. Imagine if we all as a collective turned off our phones for a day and engaged in face-to-face conversations as fellow human beings. Such a day could have a profound impact. However, we must also understand that if we fail to fully grasp the urgency of this matter, the opportunity for such change will only get smaller as technology continues to advance. The stakes are enormously high, and without awareness and action, those who seek control and manipulation will prevail. Click on this video if you want to learn more, consider subscribing if you like my content, and as always, keep your balls full and your stomach empty.